Technological progress rarely moves in a steady, linear progression. Long periods of plateau break only when engineering resolves specific physical barriers. 2026 marks a transition point for 8 distinct scientific breakthroughs. These technologies are exiting the laboratory proof-of-concept phase and entering industrial deployment at scale. Tracking legacy systems over 2 decades, silicon photovoltaics, lithium-ion batteries, and opioid painkillers all reached a performance ceiling, plateauing sharply before 2024. At the 2026 threshold, new growth trajectories emerge across energy, materials, and biology. This is driven by one engineering principle: decoupled precision. Decoupled precision is engineering a desired output, like generating electrical power or blocking physical pain, without the constraints of the inputs that historically bottlenecked the system. Mapping the 2026 landscape requires examining the chemical and biological mechanisms that allowed these sectors to sever their legacy constraints. Standard solar infrastructure is limited by a material boundary. Traditional silicon photovoltaics reach a physical maximum power conversion efficiency of roughly 24%. Layering perovskite on top of silicon creates a tandem solar cell, increasing conversion efficiency to over 34%. Engineers achieved this through interface passivation, using rubidium and cesium atoms to fill structural gaps. This smooths the energy transfer between layers. Pure perovskite cells demonstrate high efficiencies but degrade rapidly in outdoor conditions, making them unviable for long-term deployment. The hybrid model bypasses this instability by integrating perovskite directly into the existing global silicon manufacturing supply chain. Increasing energy density per square meter makes portable solar power viable for rooftops and vehicles where traditional panels cannot fit. In 2026, these commercial versions begin expanding power generation to the grid's edge. Clean energy now accounts for 40% of global electricity generation. Managing that volume requires grid storage capable of holding power for days, which traditional lithium-ion batteries cannot do cost-effectively. Iron-air batteries provide the multi-day capacity needed to serve as the grid's baseload. These systems are engineered for up to 100 hours of continuous energy storage. This chemical cycle relies on reversible rusting. To discharge electricity, the battery allows elemental iron to absorb oxygen from the air. Applying an electrical current recharges the system by forcing the rust to expel the oxygen and revert to pure iron. Because the inputs are limited to iron, water, and air, manufacturing can scale rapidly. In 2025, companies began deploying these units at sizes intended to replace fossil fuel peaker plants. Metal-ion technologies, including sodium and zinc, are also hitting commercial tipping points. These chemistries offer higher discharge rates and lower fire risks than lithium-ion cells. Stored electricity now functions as a foundational power source for modern infrastructure through the use of elemental iron and sodium. Reactive maintenance of corroded bridges, pipelines, and marine structures costs the global economy over $2.5 trillion annually. Mitigating this expense involves coupling Internet of Things sensor networks with self-healing material coatings. Recent advances in microcapsule engineering allow healing agents to survive industrial application. These capsules remain dormant until they encounter physical damage. When microdamage occurs in a pipeline, the physical stress of the fracture ruptures the capsules. They release polymerizing agents that quickly seal the breach. Simultaneously, IoT sensors detect the structural shift and transmit data alerts to maintenance systems before visible deterioration takes hold. This shift moves industrial maintenance toward an automated, predictive lifecycle, where fractures are arrested chemically in real time. The textile industry produces 132 million tons of fiber annually. Most of this ends up in landfills because blended cotton and polyester are chemically bound, making them difficult to separate. Extended producer responsibility regulations now legally require fashion brands to pay for end-of-life waste processing. This mandate creates a direct financial incentive for high-yield recycling. This chemical recycling process applies 43 weight% hydrochloric acid at room temperature to split mixed waste fabrics. The reaction recovers 75% of the cotton as glucose and 78% of the polyester as monomers, virgin-quality materials ready for new production. This technology moves to a commercial demonstration plant in 2026, with the goal of processing 100,000 tons annually by 2030. Chemical depolymerization provides a direct pathway for brands to meet regulatory mandates through a scalable recycling pipeline. Despite over 50,000 fatal overdoses annually in the United States, effective, non-addictive alternatives for severe pain have been absent for over 20 years. The 2025 FDA approval of suzetrigine serves as the catalyst for a new class of analgesics entering clinical practice in 2026. Unlike legacy opioids that indiscriminately flood the brain and spinal cord, suzetrigine targets peripheral nerve endings. The drug selectively blocks the Nav1.8 sodium channel, found only in pain-sensing neurons, intercepting the pain signal before it ever reaches the spine. Clinical data proves a 31,000-fold selectivity for pain pathways. Suzetrigine provides pain relief without the addiction risks or respiratory depression associated with brain-acting drugs. This mechanism offers a clinical alternative for acute pain management that eliminates the systemic risks associated with central nervous system drugs. Biological precision is also being applied to diagnostics. AstraZeneca's predictive biomarker modeling framework uses patient data to guide therapeutic choices. Using contrastive learning and large language models, this framework forecasts how a specific patient will respond to a targeted treatment, rather than just identifying a disease. In retrospective immuno-oncology trials, this AI-guided patient selection yielded a 15% survival benefit. Production methods are also decoupling from legacy lab constraints through cell-free biomanufacturing. Modular, freeze-dried systems allow researchers to produce proteins and enzymes on demand without using living cells or industrial fermentation tanks. By severing production from traditional bioreactors, complex diagnostics and therapeutics can be synthesized at the point of care, in resource-limited settings. Maintaining global food security requires rapid agricultural adaptation to intensifying drought conditions. Researchers use CRISPR base editing to modify root architecture genes. These edits allow plants to access deeper moisture by altering the root system's depth. This method differs from traditional GMOs. Instead of introducing foreign DNA from other species, CRISPR edits the plant's existing genome to isolate specific survival traits. CRISPR-edited crops are currently clearing field trials. These high-yield, drought-tolerant cultivars ace fewer regulatory hurdles because they do not involve transgenic modification. In 2026, the primary metric of success is empirical commercial viability at an industrial scale. We have reached a point where grid storage is decoupled from lithium supply, infrastructure lifespan is independent of manual repair, and pain relief is separated from the mechanics of addiction. These advancements are backed by significant capital flow and operate within established regulatory frameworks. From contrastive learning in oncology to reversible rusting in power grids, the chemical and biological mechanisms are proven. For industry professionals and strategists, the shift is clear. These systems now function as the primary industrial infrastructure for the coming years.